All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with the one and only. It's been a while, but it's great to have him back. Roosevelt, Stacey McKinley. Good to see you, Stacey.
Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you.
Yeah. How's everything been going? I know it's been a while, but how's everything been going with you?
Well, everything's going great. Everything's going good with my programs. All my fighters is scheduled to fight. The Bray brothers fighting, and other people that's fighting, and the gym is crowded. So everything is going good. I'm in great health for 2026. So it's off and running.
Yeah, you still eating your Brazilian walnuts and those kind of things?
Every day, it. Just finished. Just got to eat right. Get your health is your wealth. So that's my
Absolutely.
number one priority. It's keeping my health up so I can do my job.
Yeah, and
You know.
you've done your job at a high level for a long time, Stacey, and now you're working with Teofimo Lopez for this big Shakur Stevenson fight. How did all that come about? This opportunity to be part of Team Lopez for this big fight.
Well, I've been knowing them ever since he was in the amateurs as a kid, and I was there when he won the USA championship. And in the finals, he told me, he said, "Stand by my corner. I'm gonna show you how easy it is for me to win this championship because the guy."
Yeah,
He's fighting
you
a
went
kid
far.
from California. It's supposed to be a tough fight. He said, "No, but it's gonna be easy." But anyway, I've been around here. I've been around here for the last 3 or 4 years, and I've kept contact with them. And then his father gave me a call and asked me to come in and work with them. I said, it's my pleasure. So it's a big opportunity for me, and it's at the top level of boxing, and this is the way things the new year starting out right. You know.
Yes, it's the huge fight. You had a post on Facebook I saw where you mentioned that because Shakur Stevenson's a southpaw and he likes to fight out of the shoulder roll a lot, that basically there's a lot of holes in his defense, which a lot of people would find surprising. And with you being from the Kronk gym, you have a lot of experience dissecting those kind of styles. Could you speak more on that, or?
Well, a lot of people don't understand that the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll been around a long time. Eddie Futch and Jack Blackburn, Joe Lewis' trainer, they brought it back. They brought their shoulder roll back to Detroit. So it's something that we know. It's something that we teach our kids. And basically, it was invented for right-handed fighters. It wasn't invented for left-handed fighters. If you notice, most kids did the shoulder roll are right-handers. But now you got Shakur, that's a left-hander, that's doing the shoulder roll. What he doesn't realize is when you left-hand and shoulder roll, you actually roll it right into the punches from a right-hander. They don't understand that. But with that being said, he done mastered it from a southpaw standpoint, and he's a very good fighter. And I was talking with Roy Jones a couple of days ago, and I was laying in my bed and I was saying, okay, now what fight can I make a comparison to with my belief on this shoulder roll thing? And it came up to Roy Jones and Toney. And Toney mastered the shoulder roll. But because of Jones, his style of boxing, it's not a traditional style of boxing. And if you look at his style and you look at Teofimo Lopez, his style is not that traditional. Now, he has some basic boxing skills to go along with his style, but he's very, very unpredictable. And it's just like Roy Jones was a very unpredictable fighter. You don't know basically what he's going to do. And so it proved that fight with Roy Jones and Toney. Toney mastered the shoulder roll, but the shoulder roll didn't do him any good against Roy Jones because the style of Roy Jones can fight. And he just totally fell apart. So he got knocked down and everything. Then he started trying to charge and fight like Joe Frazier against Roy Jones. So it's a very interesting fight that Teofimo has the same thing that Roy Jones has. And Teofimo can punch. You have to understand that he can punch. Shakur is a very, very good fighter. Don't get me wrong. Technically, he's a good fighter. But I don't think he has the heart. I don't think he's strong enough to withstand the power and the pressure that Teofimo is going to put on him. It'll be a different type of fight. You're not going to sit back and wait. We understand that. And I hope he go to the ropes. If he go to the ropes, that's where we plan to leave him, on the ropes. You know, there's no be no rope-a-dope. It's not rope-a-dope he's trying to do. He's been trying to do the Floyd Mayweather and all this type of thing. But you'll find out this will be a very difficult fight for him. But it's going to be an exciting fight for the fans and everybody.
You mentioned two great fighters, Stacey. You mentioned Roy Jones Jr. and then you mentioned Floyd Mayweather. So a lot of the detractors may say, well, Teofimo Lopez, he's not as gifted, he's not as talented as Roy Jones. He's no Roy Jones. So how could you say it's like Roy Jones versus James Toney? And then with Shakur, a lot of people say that you know, he's the best defensive fighter in boxing. He gets a lot of Mayweather comparisons. What do you think about maybe those things, Stacey?
Well, if you want to make a comparison, now I'm not comparing. I'm not making a comparison in terms of who's the best. That Teofimo is as good as Roy Jones. I said he's not as good as Roy Jones, but he's good enough. He's 75% of Roy Jones, and he's 75% of Roy Jones from the standpoint he's very creative. He's very creative and he's very athletic. A lot of people don't understand this kid is super athletic. So and his mindset is he create as he goes, just like Roy Jones. Now you're talking about Shakur. Shakur does a good job with the shoulder roll and the defense that he's using. But okay, let's go back to a fighter that I had, James Toney. At one time, I started him out when he was about 12 or 13 years old. Okay, we fought Samuel Peters. We fought Samuel Peters for the heavyweight title elimination. And I was training Samuel Peters at the time, and I told James, I said, just like I taught you, I can break you. The shoulder roll ain't gonna work on us. And it did not work on him. We knocked him down with a jab and everything. So it's a way to unfold all of this shoulder roll stuff. Shakur is good with it, but he's not as good as he's no Floyd Mayweather. Yes. By no means is he Floyd Mayweather. He hasn't fought anybody. Now, if he wins this fight, then you can say, okay, he's getting there, but he's not there yet.
Okay. Teofimo, I would say, is definitely the most athletic fighter he's fought to date. How do you think Shakur is going to respond to somebody as athletic as Teofimo Lopez in the ring?
Well, I think he's gonna try to figure him out. He think that he's gonna be able to sit back and think and pot shot and think like this on his terms, but it won't be like that. He won't have the time. There won't be enough time between thinking and actually reacting because he's a good counterpuncher. But the counterpuncher and all this stuff is going to be taken away from him. It's not going to be there because he's fighting a kid that's busy and can punch from all angles. You don't know what Teofimo may do. I'll give another example. Vernon Forrest and Roy Jones. At the time, Vernon Forrest was pound for pound. He and Roy Jones pound for pound the best in the world. And I had a fighter by the name of Ricardo Murrieta, the Matador. Okay, Don King called me to train him. Now, I told Don King that Vernon Forrest's skill level is high. I said, but he can't beat the Matador because the Matador is unpredictable in the ring, and he can punch. And we all remember that fight, those two fights that he beat him. So you got to look at the styles, and these kids' style. Teofimo's style is very difficult. It's very difficult to figure out. And it's some of the things that we worked on, he and his father, and I had worked on, that's going to really, really take him to another level. I figure, well, my little input that I have into the fight should give him an extra 10 to 15%. So his conditioning, his athletic ability is unbelievable. He's a nonstop worker. You can see it in his rope skipping. His rope skipping, his ability to slip bag. I got him on the slip bag. I've never seen a fighter slip bag like that. Mike Tyson was good at it, but he wasn't good as Teofimo. Really? Rope skipping, you look at his rope skipping, you're looking at Roberto Duran, you Sugar Ray Robinson. There's none other better than that. So you look at the skill level that he has.
Okay. Does Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson, Stacey, do they remind you of maybe any of the guys that you came across during your days at the Kronk gym?
Well, it's Teofimo. I would say he's a lot different than anybody I've seen at the Kronk gym. I know all of them, from the little kids, from most of the little kids on up. The difference right now in the Kronk fighters and today's fighters, okay, Today's fighters, they are not punching straight through with punches. That's how come you have a lot of knockouts. You don't have a lot of knockout today in today's young fighters because they're not following through with their punches. They're not punching through a person. So what we was doing in Detroit, we had the more or less the Joe Louis and the Joe Louis style. Where these guys is punching, and they're punching with weight, and they're turning their weight and then the punches and setting up for shots. But they're not doing that now. So Teofimo has some of that. I kind of put some of that punching in it so he can sit down on his punches. Yeah, he can punch already. But I kind of put some of that Detroit thing back in him to sit down at certain times. So with that being said, he has a little of it, the Kronk thing. I would say Shakur, in terms of maybe Anthony Jones was a good little boxer, had fast hands, not no big puncher, and had fast hands. So I could say, yeah, he kind of remind me of some of the Kronk fighters. He's a very good fighter now.
Yeah,
he's a very artistic fighter. But then again, you have to question his heart. Does he have the heart? What he's going to do when he get hit? Has he been hit before? Now we saw when he fought this fight, he got hit by this kid. I forget his name. Yeah, he kind of got hurt. Anybody can get hurt anytime anyway. He kind of got hurt. He kind of fold up a little bit. So he has to have the mindset that, hey, if I get hit, I got to absorb that punch and keep fighting because he's going to get hit. And if he cut off and go into that defensive mode, which I think he's going to do, he got to go in now. He go into defensive mode against the guys that he's fighting now. When he fight Teofimo, he definitely going to have to go into a deeper defensive mode, which means his output is going to be less. His punch output is going to be less. As far as his footwork and all that, that's out of the window. That ain't going to work.
Okay.
So the fans don't have to boo him. I have to boo him like they did one time. He was running all around the ring, his own fans booing him and stuff. But you have to worry about that. He's not going to run because we're not going to let him run.
Yeah. And
if he run, he can't hide. So it all, we're working on everything. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited.
It is, Stacey. And I know a lot of people that are very pro Shakur going into this fight. The one fight from TO that they pointed to is the Jaron Ortiz fight. I don't know if you've seen that fight, but Jaron Ortiz, slick boxer. He can switch hit a little bit. He boxed the whole fight in the southpaw stance and was circling the ring. Teofimo had a hard time, setting up his punches to really sustain his offense. So it was a close fight. There was lack of adjustments. You're saying this fight that he's gonna sit down on his punches and maybe be a more of a boxer puncher?
Well, no, I'm not. At certain points in the fight, he would be that. Now, you being said, what you just said is true, but you got to understand. There's one thing you have to understand. I mean, they didn't bring me in there to just give him some water.
Yeah.
They brought me in to dissect him and dissect the man that he's going to fight. Like Eddie Futch once told me, he said, I attack the man's weak points and I avoid his strong points. So basically, that's what we're doing. We're going to attack his weak points and his strong points, we're going to avoid them. So, yeah, so it's strategy. It's knowing how to win and the will to win. And there's a whole lot of psychological work. A lot of people don't understand. I've always said the fight is in the head. So whoever wants to fight the baddest, want and that desire to be all of these things, then that's the guy who's going to win. Because the fight's going to be in the head when they come right down to it. If they have to fight toe-to-toe and stand there and punch toe-to-toe, well, the stronger guy with the strongest chin and with the strongest mind and the heart, that's the one going to win the fight. So we're coming to fight. We're not coming to show you our artistic skills and all this. That ain't none of this. This is going to be a fight. We're coming to fight. That's all there is to it. And like I tell him, brother, you're going to fight. There's no, like I hear all this stuff about, this fighter, his IQ. What the hell are you talking about? His IQ level. What you mean? What do you think this is? You're trying to sound very intelligent. Well, he has a great boxing IQ. What the hell are you talking about? This is fighting, brother. The storm is coming. The storm is coming to New York City.
Ooh.
Okay, the takeover is coming. Ain't no pretty. Whatever it takes to win, that's what we're gonna do. That's the bottom line. It's all in the mind. The mind is there. The fight is going to be easy. And that's what we're working on. The psychological part of the fight as well.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it because Shakur Stevenson, it's hard for guys to get him to sit there and fight with him. So when I heard that you were in the corner, I was like, okay, I'm gonna bump Teal's chances up about 10% myself.
You smart man.
Yeah.
You're a very smart man, because it's strange that you said 10%. I was saying myself to other people was talking to me. I said, listen, if I can add 10% to what he already has, he's a winner. That's all it is to it. Now, they're talking about, well, Floyd Mayweather is showing him this, and Floyd Mayweather is showing him how to do this, and Crawford is showing him this, and Crawford is showing him that. Hey, brother, when that bell rings, there's going to be two people in that ring. So what Crawford and all of them talking about ain't going to matter. It ain't going to, it's not going to mean anything. And everybody talking about Crawford with look how Crawford outboxed Canelo and all that. But Canelo threw about 3 jabs in 12 rounds. Hell, how you going to win a fight like that? That's impossible.
Not against
a guy like that. I can beat a guy like that. He ain't going to throw no punches. You know? So the bottom line is, what's going to happen when you get hit in the mouth with a real puncher? What's going to happen? What's going to happen when you can't figure this guy's style out? Hey, we figure your style out. You can't figure out this guy's style. I'm gonna tell you like it is. I seen T.O. do some stuff in the ring that I was really amazed. And I saw Mike Tyson do some stuff also in training. And I asked Mike, I said, Mike, that's after being with the man 4 years.
Yeah.
I've never seen you do this before. And his remark was, Stacey, it's a lot of things I can do that you haven't seen me do, because there's no one out there can make me do it, to bring it out of me. And I think that Shakur is going to bring out another level in Teofimo. Teofimo's skill level is not as high as it's going to be. I think he just scratched the surface, because his athletic ability and what I can see in the way that he's trained, this kid here is about 75% or his total potential, and he's still young. So he's still growing. And it's one thing I like about this fight is the management, the promoters, the fighters and everything. I think they did a fantastic job in making this fight, because now what you got 2 young fighters. You got 2 young champions fighting each other, rather than having a 40-year-old fighter fighting another 38-year-old fighter. These are young men. These are young men fighting. When you're younger, an old man tell a bunch. The only thing that the old man can beat a young man doing is telling a bunch of lies. Okay, now he might beat a young boy, but he ain't gonna beat no young man. So you got 2 young men. These guys are full of fire. So the people gonna get their money worth. Either way it goes, they're getting their money worth, and it's exciting. So everybody come on out, and they're gonna raise Teofimo's hand. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
I can't wait. If Teofimo does do what you're saying he's gonna do, Stacey, he's gonna I think at that point cement himself as a Hall of Famer, because he's already beaten Josh Taylor, he beat Lomachenko. He's already shown on that level what he can be when he's in these type of fights. So you guys pull this off, it's gonna be something special. Yeah,
I think like I said, and I'm not just saying this because I'm working with him. I was saying it before. I see this kid before he even got the phone call. I was saying, I tell you, it's not going to be what they think it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit tougher fight. But now that I'm working with him and seeing him in the gym and going through what he's going through, hey, I just can't see Shakur beating him. I just can't see it unless he come in there and just say, "Well, I sit down." That ain't gonna happen, because this kid, this kid is different, man. This kid is totally different. He's physically and mentally different. We have a lot in common, because he bases a lot of things, a lot of good things that happen to him. He bases it on the universe. He said the universe talks to him. And if everybody know me, they know I'm into that also.
You are. I know all about the crystals and the energies and all that stuff.
I got the energies, I got the crystals, and I got all of these things. And come to find out that when I was talking to him about it, because you look at his back, if you look at the tattoos on his back, he got that guy here, the Tree of Life. He got all these different tattoos on his back. And all of that It's universal language all down his back. When I saw that, I asked him, I said, come into my room, let me show you something. And the same pyramid that he got on his back, I got it in my room. So right away, psychologically, we connected. We was already connected. But psychologically, we connected. That's a whole different universe. It's a whole different universe. So I done tapped into something that most people with him ain't tapped into. So in tapping into that, I can take him to another level. See, this is what you got to deal with. This thing is real. It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. Absolutely.
All in the mind.
Stacey, you got a PhD in boxing. I've learned a lot about not just boxing, but even like life from you. Like I still use some of your Staceyisms sometimes, like prevention is the best cure. That's one of the ones.
Prevention is the best cure. Absolutely. Yeah. And your health is your wealth.
Correct.
That's it. And your diet. Diet. I teach people all the time about dieting. Everybody wondering when the COVID was out. Oh, I had to clean them up and all this type of thing to get them all straight. But the universe talks. The universe talks. A lot of people don't believe it, but the universe talks. And I like this kid because our meditation together, you know, I said, listen, we got to go to the beach. We got to let the sun rise. We got to be there. We got to be meditating. When the sun rises, there's energy. All of these different things is going into it because it's in the mind. Let me explain something to you right quick.
Go ahead.
There's a trainer in Detroit. His name was Luther Burgess.
Yes.
Okay, Luther Burgess trained a lot of champions. In fact, that was Emmanuel Stewart trainer. And Luther Burgess was trained by Eddie Futch. Okay, Hedgeman Lewis, Luther Burgess trained. Luther Burgess taught me about the mindset of a fighter. And Luther Vergil wasn't a left hook, right hand man, technique man. He said, Stacey, all you need is a jab, a piece of left hook, and a right hand. He said, everything else is in the mind. He's always remember, it's in the mind. And we couldn't even imagine, we couldn't figure out why this guy always win. Why his Class B fighters always win. They ain't got no skills, but they always win. Because he put it in the mind, the will to win. Now I remember when I had the experience myself when I won the Tough Man contest back in 1979.
Yeah.
I had the will to win. I had to win. Rent was due, car payments behind.
That's right.
Everything was lacking. I didn't have no choice. So I told myself, look, I don't know about the rest of you guys in this tournament, but you got to win. And I won. So it's all in the mind. You got to win. So this is one of the things I'm working with on him. It's mental.
Is he the only fighter you meditated with? Is he the first fighter that you meditated with on the beach? Those kind of things?
Well, there was a couple of other guys. Who was it? Michael Nunn.
Yep.
Michael Nunn is one. And some other kid, some kid from Latin America somewhere. It wasn't Ricardo Mayoga. I don't know. It had to come back to me. It's been a long time since I've done this.
Okay.
Because it's hard to find fighters with that mindset. But like I say, when I found out this kid was into the universe and all that, it was easy for us. You know, it's just like some fighters, we get grounded. I said, listen, I want you to take your shoes off. I want you to walk outside on the ground. You got to get grounded. I said, the earth itself gives off electrodes. I say, it's nurturing. It has to go through your body. You got to understand all this. Nikola Tesla tried to tell us this years ago. I said, but you have to do all this earth thing. He understands that. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Where some fighter might say, well, this sounds crazy. Now, it's not crazy. This is just a form of life and energy that you don't understand, but it's not crazy.
Correct.
But it works. It works. It makes you mentally strong. And you can see it in his eyes, his presence. This kid's mind is, this kid has a brilliant mind. If you listen to him talk, he's very intelligent. If you listen to him talk, and he works extremely hard. He's a super fighter. Like I tell you, his skill level's only been touched. He got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
There's room for growth with him. You might say, well, he fought good fighters. Lomachenko and all those guys. see, he lost one fight, probably a fight that he should have postponed, but he wanted to fight because he was sick, really.
Yeah.
So he wanted to fight, but he was really, I mean, really sick. I don't know if y'all know it, but
I do.
I didn't know to what degree, because at the time his father was telling him, hey, look, maybe we should stop this fight. He said, no, I want to continue to fight, which means he took a hell of a chance, but he was really sick, but he took the fight. But, but anyway, this thing gonna be exciting for the fans. It's good for boxing. Mm-hmm. It's good for all of this. All these fighters is ducking and dodging. It's one thing about it. He go in there, he win this fight, and Devin Haney and all the rest of them can line up. Because he's not ducking anybody. It's no, well, I don't want to fight this guy. Like Shakur said, well, I came up with these fighters and I don't want to fight them because
they're my friend,
they're friends of mine. You ain't got no friends in that boxing ring, son. There are no friends in that boxing ring. What do you think this is? This is war, brother.
Yes.
This is war.
You don't like Shakur Stevenson saying that he'll never fight Keyshawn Davis because they're brothers and they help each other through life and those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never fight Keyshawn Davis. That man is not your blood brother. Yeah, he's not your blood brother. Let me tell you something. If you don't want to fight him because you friend, you need to give up your belts, man. Give your belts up, because me and Lopez talked about it. He said, Stacey, the guy sounds like a pussy, don't he? I said, yeah. I won't fight my friends because we grew up together. Brother, get out of the ring. Give the belt to somebody else. Let somebody else go it on. We fight brother, mother. Don't make no difference. You get in that boxing ring. Like I tell them all the time, you come in that boxing ring. Hey, this is what it is. Everything goes. This is what it is. Now you go outside of the ring, then you live a different type. You live in mainstream society. And that ring is not mainstream society, brother. It's war.
It's kill or be killed.
Kill or be killed. We're in the hurt business.
Correct.
And that's what I intend to do with Lopez, is put hurt on Shakur. To let him know that we're trying to push your nose and push your cartridge up in your brain. Let him know that we're trying to crack your ribs.
Yeah.
Let him know that we're trying to break your jaw in 2 or 3 places, like Anthony Joshua did Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, yeah.
We listen, brother. We're trying to hurt you. Okay. Now, if you don't want to be in the hurt business, then go do something else. That's all it is to it. Because you're not going to change my mindset. Because I know that boxing is dangerous, and I know you got to do this. You got to go to war, brother.
Yeah, you can't. You got to be all in. You got to. You can't have like you used to always. You can't be going to college and be an engineer and be like a regular person. You gotta really be a warrior.
From the time you start boxing at the early age to 30 years old, your whole life should be into boxing. It's just like me. I told myself I was going to school to be a mechanical engineer. I told myself, you got to make your mind up. Either you're going to go to the engineer and get you a regular job, or you're going to do 100% boxing. Now, you might drown. You're going to swim or drown. I almost drowned a couple of times. But you're going to swim or drown. Once you do that 9 times out of 10, you're going to swim. Correct. That's all it is to it. It's just like I was telling my fighters the other day. The trainer that comes to the gym and say, little son, I can't work with you right now because I got a job and I got to go to work on my job, and I can't. Hey, that ain't no training.
Yeah.
You have one job, and that's training. You can't work a job and run a business and train a fighter on an elite level. You can't do it. Somebody always gonna beat you.
Correct.
Because you got to go, it's a 24-hour day job, man. So you have to think that way. Once you think that way, you always be a winner. That's all it is to it. Your life is boxing. This is your life.
Yeah. And
now, if you don't want to do that, go on after the guy come to me and told me, Stacey, I got this fighter. Oh, he's a smart fighter. He's a great fighter. He's working on his master's degree. I say, hey, man, don't bring that fighter to me.
Yeah.
He said, why? He's smart. I said, listen, that's the problem. He don't know what you want to do. I said, the minute he get in a tough fight, he gonna quit. Because he gonna think to himself, I ain't got to do this.
He's too damn smart for his own good.
I got a great education. I can go do this. Well, get on out the ring and go do that. In fact, don't even go in the ring. Especially against my fighters. I'm going to tell you that right now. You have to fight. Yeah. I just tell you don't want to be a real fighter, then get into my fitness program and do that. But don't get into the boxing program thinking that you're going to, you're going to walk through this. That ain't like that. And I teach it in the gym. That's why my gym is old school. The guys say, why don't you buy all new bags and stuff in this station? I'll sponsor you. No. Leave my old bags in here.
It's like the Kronk gym of the South.
My old school dusty bags. They work just fine.
Yeah. No,
I love the gym. So that's what it is, but it's going to be a great night, and I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll.
I can't wait. Stacey, you mentioned Teofimo Lopez as a potential welterweight, going up, fighting these guys like Devin Haney and things like that. What do you think about Teofimo Lopez potentially in the future going to 147?
147. He could carry 147. He's going to be 147. When they weigh in, after this weigh-in, he coming in as a junior middleweight anyway.
Yeah.
He coming in. We're going to be facing. He's already, listen, Shakur's already small.
Yeah.
Okay, he's already small. I can look at his bones, his face structure, and all that. I can look at his facial structure. I already looked through him as if I had a magnifying glass. I put him on the microscope. I looked at his bone structure in his head, his jaw, his shoulder. I looked at all that. He's already a small man. So he's small. So we coming in big. But to get back to what you said, going up to a different weight class, he don't have no problem. Okay. He's not having, you look at the way he's built, his shoulders and his back, and look how he's built. What's the way ain't gonna be no problem? He want to fight Terence Crawford.
I know. I remember that.
Yeah, he want to fight Terence Crawford. In his mind, he said, "Stacey, I will beat Terence Crawford." He want Terence Crawford bad, as Joe Frazier said when he got ready to fight Muhammad Ali. I want it bad. The hog won't flop. He want it bad, boy. I said, "Don't worry, you'll get him. Let's get through here. They can line up Terence Crawford, and Devin Haney, and all those guys. Line them up."
I never thought about that because if he goes in there and he does what you say he's going to do, if he puts a beating on Shakur Stevenson, that might give Terence that motivation to come out of retirement and fight Teofimo Lopez.
Listen, Terence coming out of retirement anyway. That's all bullshit. You know that. Yeah, Terence coming out of the money gonna bring him out. His ego gonna bring him out. And believe it or not, like I said this for the last 10 to 12 years, Floyd Mayweather gonna come out of retirement also. Boxing gonna bring him out. He has to come out. Everybody holler, well, Rocky Marciano, he retired undefeated. And all that. Rocky Marciano was coming out too. Unfortunately, got in a plane crash. He was coming out. So they can't stay in that, keep that record like that, and that money coming at them. The ego, they miss that crowd, the cheering of the crowd and all that, and the money and all that. Eventually, they're going to come out. It's the name of the game.
Yeah.
You don't walk away from the title. The title is to be lost in the ring.
Correct.
Not to retire and say, well, I'm retiring. No. You want it in the ring, lose it in the ring. Then you retire. It's not. There's no disgrace to that. There's no honor to retiring undefeated. And giving the title away, there's no honor in that. You win it in the ring, you lose it in the ring. That's where I see it. Okay.
Well, mentioning Terence Crawford, he had that big win over Canelo Alvarez. He cemented himself as an all-time great by doing that. A lot of people, Stacey, they look at Terence Crawford as this unbeatable fighter. Some say he's even better than Floyd Mayweather. I wanted to get your take, Stacey. How do you think Terence would have did against the likes of not just Floyd, but maybe even the four kings, them kind of guys like Duran and Toney Hearns?
What he had done?
Yeah.
He got knocked out. What do you mean? What he have done? I get so, I don't know. I don't get frustrated. I guess I get so
baffled.
I get so upset.
Yeah.
Because I be thinking, where is all of this coming from? Who's saying all these things? Do they know boxing? And then when I research it, the people who saying it, no, they don't know boxing. They don't know boxing. Okay, that when you start talking about Roberto Duran, and you start with Roberto, which I got him as my number 4 all-time fighter. I got Muhammad Ali, I got Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, and Roberto Duran. That's my lineup right there. When you start talking about Hearns and Duran and Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, you're talking about a whole different era of fighters. These fighters right now, they couldn't be good sparring partners.
Damn.
You talking about who they can beat? You think Terence Crawford could go 12 rounds with Sugar Ray Leonard? You think he go 12 rounds with Duran? You think he go? Come on, man.
I think Thomas Hearns would have been a nightmare matchup for him.
Thomas Hearns, like I said earlier, we was taught to punch through a guy. Okay, to punch through. That's why they call him the hitman. Why do you think they call him the hitman? Look how tough Roberto Duran is. Roberto Duran is Sugar Ray Leonard said himself, say he was so hard to hit and he could hit hard. Everybody thought he was easy to hit. Roberto Duran was a real fighter. He was real. Sugar Ray Leonard won an all-time great. He can change in the middle of a fight. He can adjust. It's like he adjusted to Toney Hearns. Toney Hearns started winning the fight. Sugar came out and stopped boxing and said, I can't outbox Toney. I got to fight him. So he walked him down. What did he do when he walked him down? He stopped him. See, these kind of guys you're talking about. I've seen Crawford get hit. I've seen Crawford get wobbled by Gamboa.
Yeah, Gamboa, Kavaluskas.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So he was getting hit by Hagler. We're getting all over with. So stop mentioning those four kings with these modern day queens. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
I ain't saying that they're the best we have now. You know, we look at their knockout records. Lately they ain't knocking nobody out.
Yeah. Well,
you know, look at it.
Yeah, I know you spent time around Floyd Mayweather as a kid in the Michigan gyms and whatnot. How about Floyd versus Terence? If they ever fought,
it would be a good fight. It's be a very, very good fight, an interesting fight. Floyd would probably figure out a way to beat him. Now, there's one thing about those two fighters. They are mentally strong. So that's what would make that fight really compatible, because Floyd is mentally strong. Floyd have always been mentally strong. Terence is mentally strong. So those guys, if the fight is going Floyd's way, Terence is smart enough to do something to change it, vice versa. So it's all in their mind. So that would be a great fight between them, because they're so mentally strong. I remember when Floyd was training in Las Vegas, and Mike would finish training, Floyd would come in. So I was sitting there talking to Floyd one day, and I told him, I said, look, I've seen eyes like yours before. He said, who eyes, Stacey? I said, young man by the name of Sugar Ray Leonard. I said, you don't think you can lose? He said, no, Stacey, they ain't gonna beat me. I said, no. I said, you really believe this before he even won a title. I said, you really believe that too. I can see it in your eyes. I said, you're gonna win titles, championships in 4 different weight classes. I said, you watch and see. So then at the WBC convention, I said, remember when I told you that? He said, no, Stacey, you lied. I said, you mean I lied? He said, well, I didn't win 4-1-6. I said, okay. But mentally is strong. Yeah. Floyd gonna try to win. He wants to win. He hate losing. Terence gonna try to win. So the mental thing makes a great fight. That will make a great fight.
And they're both master counterpunchers, 2 of the best counterpunchers of their era. So
yeah. But you can't put Darren Haney and Shakur them with them on that level. They can't not on Floyd level. Floyd beat the hell out of both of them. You beat all them boys. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
And the greatest fighter of all time, there's only one fighter that's on a pedestal by himself. You got the 4 kings here, but you got that one fighter over there by himself, and that was Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson on that side. But if you go to heavyweight, you got Ali over here, and you got Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson, that's Ali's idol, was Sugar Ray Robinson. So Robinson was the ultimate fight genius. He had everything. He had power. He had speed. He had footwork. He had everything. His skill level was so high. He also had something that most fighters didn't have. And I don't think we got a chance to see him at his best. Once that kid got killed in the ring, he started pulling his punches. And that was because he realized that I could actually kill a man at any time I want to in the ring. Well, most guys would tell you, "Oh, I'll kill you in the ring." That's just talk. But Ray Robinson knew spiritually that he could do that at any time. This is why when he started his program in California, he had all different sports. Flojo came out of his program. He had all sports except boxing. He didn't have boxing. He said he didn't want boxing only because he knew what he could do himself.
Did you ever meet him?
Oh yeah. I was lucky enough to meet all those old guys. You know, Joe Louis and all them boys. Jake LaMotta. You know, sit and talk with them. Henry Armstrong. Sit and talk to all them guys. I've been lucky.
Yeah. No. Joe Louis. Joe Louis is one of my favorite fighters, actually. What do you remember about meeting Joe Louis?
Joe Louis?
Yeah.
Well, see, I knew all the guys from Detroit that came up with Joe Louis. So when I got a chance to meet him, you know, we sit and talk about his style and all that. There's only one kid had basically his style in Detroit, and that was Bernard Mays with the short punches and the little skip and the short punches. There's no other fight, no other heavyweight or other fighter that had that little 6-inch punch like Joe. Joe would hurt you. And this is why I told Mike got ready to fight in Detroit. Mm-hmm. He wanted to fight Galata. He wanted to train in Detroit. He wanted to train at Brewster Center where Joe Louis trained. So we went down there and we trained at Brewster Center. And so I told Mike, I said, listen, you in Detroit, you train at Brewster Center. I said, if you win this fight against Galata, I told the press this. If you win this fight against Galata, I thought I was crazy. I said, if you win this fight with Galata on a decision, you ain't win the fights. So I'm telling you that right now. I said, but you got to break something. Yeah. Joe Louis would break bones. He break jaws, he break ribs. I said, now you in Joe Louis' hometown. I said, the only way you win, you got to break something, Mike. What Mike do? He fractured his ribs and he fractured his vertebrae in his neck. I said, now you done won. So there's a few fighters that could actually go in there and break bones. So, you know, that's a few. So, you know, it's crazy, but that's the game we in.
Yeah, the hurt business.
We in the hurt business.
The hurt business.
If you don't want to get hurt, Shakur, don't come in the ring.
That's right.
If you come in the ring, you're gonna get hurt. What's
the old saying, Stacey? If you're scared, go to church.
You scared, go to church. That's right. Go to church and pray on it. You know. There's a scripture in the Bible where it states, it don't really state it, but it said Jesus was a fighter. They said Jesus drew back a sword and it was dripping blood. What that mean? That means he was fighting somebody.
Yeah, Jesus wasn't soft, not by any means.
No. So you got to put all in this perspective, you know. And you have to understand one thing, like I was telling people. Boxing is God's creation. No one man owns boxing. This is why I don't like it when guys throw away the titles and say, well, you know, this title ain't nothing. It's just a trophy and all that. This title has been around for 104 years. Okay. God created boxing. He created boxing for man. Boxing is a poor man's sport. It's a poor man's sport. And it's always going to be a poor man's sport. And there's a lot of poor people in this world. So no one fighter is bigger than boxing. Boxing going to be around when all the fighters living today and training, when they're all going to heaven, wherever they're going to go, boxing still going to be here. It's God's creation. It was created for the poor man. It helped the poor man bring his family up, bring him out of poverty, this type of thing, make a name for himself. It's always going to be like that. So the rich guy goes into boxing, starting out rich, he ain't going to do no boxing. He can't do no boxing.
Correct.
He can't take them knocks and them licks and the pain at night and all the sacrificing. He can't do all that. Got too much. He already riding Mercedes-Benz and Rolls Royce. How the hell how you going to do that?
And also dealing with the business of boxing, you know, that's also a fight within itself.
The business of boxing is a monster. That's why I tell the fighters that, look, don't try to get into the management side of this boxing. You ain't gonna do nothing. Let your have faith in your managers or your attorneys, whoever you got. Let them take care of the business, and you take care of the ring. If you don't take care of the ring, there ain't no business. That's all it is to it. If the fight, even wondering, Stacey, why you stay around the ring? I said, look, the fight in the ring is one thing, and there's a hell of a fight outside the ring. Politics, all this stuff is involved. It's not like amateur boxing. There's politics in that too, but there's money involved. There's finances involved. There's promoters who want their fighters to have a championship. There's this. It's a whole lot going on. So the fighter can't worry about that because it's too much to learn in here.
Correct.
And it's too much for the trainers to stay on top of the fighter. You know, so you got to you got to be a 24-hour man to make this thing work. You got to be.
I agree, and that's not even just for being a fighter. That's anything in boxing, management, media, anything. Like you got to really be all the way in
because it changes. It
Correct.
Changes every 30 seconds. You got to be able to predict and see things coming before it get there. You know, Don King taught us. Don King taught me. He said, "Look, sometimes we got to create a smoke."
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
You see, the smoke, and everybody look for the fire. We gone.
Yeah.
So you got to. There's a lot but Jack, you've been around 60 years like I have. You can pretty much predict every future in boxing, everything about the management, about the training and everything. You see it, but it take a long time. It take a long time to see that. It's just like right now. Let's say right now, if you was here and I can put my hand on your shoulder just like that, and I could basically tell how strong your whole body is, not you pushing against me, just lay my hand on it, I can tell how strong your whole body is. Or I can get close to you and look at in your eyes, and I can see straight through you. It take a long time to be able to do that, and it take consistency to be able to do that. If you're away from it, you can't do it. Or I can walk by you and don't have to touch you, and I can feel the energy coming from you. I can tell how strong you are.
Yeah.
Because I can feel it. I can do it every day. So I mean, it's crazy, but that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
So it's 24/7. And most people say, why you stay in your gym? I got an apartment right here in my gym.
I know.
Because right now, I'm training fighters. I don't need to go home for what? I don't need to go home. I need to stay right on top of this game. When I wake up, I see the gym. When I go to bed, I see the gym. And I still run get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and run myself.
Yeah.
I have to jog. I have to keep myself. I have to do my stretches. I do my exercise. All that for boxing. And especially dealing with these young fighters. And I have to listen to all those crazy music they be listening to. All that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to listen to them. And it helps keep you young also.
It does. It does.
But you got to be, when you're a trainer like that, you got to be real careful. I was very blessed that my kids is grown, and my kids is grown, and my daughter's a doctor. My son working on his doctoral degree right now. That my kids is grown, and I don't have to worry about a whole lot of things that a lot of guys have to worry about, So I can do this 100%. So I was doing it then. Good, thank God I was making enough money to send them to school and stuff, but it's a whole different ball game. And right now, it's my age, and living the way that I'm living, it's probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me because I feel good.
And you look good, Stacey. You look good.
And I already made my pact with my God. Me and my God already done talked. I said, listen, you have blessed me because I ain't never been sick in my life. The only sickness, except for a common cold or something. But I've never been sick, never been on any medication. I said, because we made an agreement. It's going to be 100 years and out. And you might give me a couple more years, I appreciate it, but give me that 100 and out, and I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a lot. That's enough time. That's enough time to get done what you want to get done and enjoy life.
That's enough time. I need that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stacey, the last time I talked to you, I remember I spoke to you briefly about Jaron Ennis, and now he's at 154 pounds. There's this potential matchup between him and Vergil Ortiz. What do you think about that potential fight? And has your stance on Jaron Ennis improved since the last time I talked to you?
Well, I've been watching him and I've been studying him. And I watched him real close. And I was, I got this kid. I got Alex Bray.
Yeah.
Who's 154 pounds, right?
Really good young fighter.
So I was talking to Alex Bray them last week because Alex Bray, they really like this kid, which I understand. But I started studying Ennis, and I started watching him, and I started watching his corner, and I started seeing a lot of different flaws in his performance and in his corner. I see a lot of different flaws in that. So I'm gonna have to wait and see what it's gonna be. Like I told Alex, I said, Alex, the kid is a good boxer. He's a very good boxer. He's a flashy little boxer. I said, but he's just right now, he's just a good boxer. I don't see anything extraordinary. I don't see anything like that in him. I don't see that. I said, now if you get caught up in this flashiness that he got, when you look at his pants and all these tosses and stuff, make it look flashy. I said, you think he's doing a whole lot of stuff and he ain't doing. I said, now another thing is you got to look at the competition.
Correct.
Look at the competition that he's fought. He ain't fought nobody. And then I look at Ortiz. Ortiz is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. But all of these guys is calling themselves A fighters. Basically, it's B fighters. B plus at the most. I haven't seen anything extraordinary. I haven't seen anything yet. And I was telling Alex, if he become world champion, if he can hold him title, you're going to be there. I said, if you be there, not this year, but next year, you'll be knocking on the door. I said, when you knock on that door, I said, you're going to be able to open that door. They ain't going to be able to do nothing with you because you is the real fighter. Now, another thing I look at with English is I look at his corner. If you notice the corner, everybody hollering and screaming. Daddy hollering, other trainers hollering. It's just like a basketball game.
Yeah.
Do this. They're trying to fight for the fighter. They call him every shot. Don't do that yet. I want you to do this. Listen to all this noise in the corner. Now, what's going to happen is if you got that level of noise in the corner, if you ever get hurt real bad, they're going to explode. They're going to get the corner going to get the fight. You be quiet. You tell you do. They're going to explode. So all this stuff plays a big part on this kid and where he's going and how long he's going to stay there. I don't see him staying there. I don't see nothing extraordinary. I don't see nothing extraordinary in Ortiz. I just don't see it. It may be there, but I don't see it.
Okay.
Maybe they'll grow, but I think he's had 20-something fights. He should be good in season right now. But we're going to find out. I don't think any of them 2 years from now, I don't think any of them will beat my boy.
So
I think Bray going to walk through all of them. I think he's going to be the king.
There's a fighter from South Florida, Stacey, Xander Zayas. He has one of the belts. How familiar are you with him, and what do you think about your kid Alex Bray fighting potentially Xander?
Well, I fight him. Give me 2 more fights. I fight him. Okay. Give me 2 more fights. I fight him now.
Because Alex is 14 in the WBA. He's like 14 in the WBA right now. He's not ranked anywhere else. But you'll say in 2 fights, maybe like this time next year.
I'll let him fight it. There ain't no problem. It won't be no problem. You got to understand. Okay, they're looking at Alex Bray. They're looking at Alex Bray. They started when Alex Bray got rated. You got to understand what you're looking at. You're looking at an 18-year-old kid. You're not looking at no 20-something-year-old kid. You're looking at what you see as an 18-year-old kid. You understand that? He hasn't got his man strength yet.
Yeah.
He's dogging these guys as a kid. He's not but a baby. He hasn't got. It's just like the kid over in England, that heavyweight over there this fight. Whatever his name is, 19 years old, knocking everybody out.
Mosley.
Yeah. See, Alex Bray is just an 18-year-old. What is Alex Bray gonna be like when he get his man strength at 20 years old? Now you're gonna see something. So at 20 years old, hey, You bring them on. I don't bring all of them.
Alex. Yeah, I know Alex is scheduled to fight his first 10-rounder a month from today on February 20th. Over there in
February
Orlando.
20th. He's gonna fight his first 10-rounder. And I told him,
yeah,
when he fight this fight, I'm gonna keep him busy. And next year, I want a title fight. I want a title fight. I told him that.
Yeah.
You got to go. You got too much talent. 6'3", can box, and he's doing what I say. He's punching through the guys. He can move good. He got good eyes. He can catch. He can shoulder roll at 6'3". He can measure you, do all that. And I'm teaching him all kinds of boxing skills, good boxing skills. And the thing about it, he's mentally strong. He don't mind hurting you now. He's mentally strong, and he trains every day. They train hard. He and his brother both. They run. They do what I tell them to do. They run the park. They eat good. They sleep. They ain't drinking. They don't drink. They don't smoke. They ain't hanging out in the streets. Don't do none of that. The daddy brought him up that way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. I got a chance to see him in the Golden Glove, and I said, who's that kid right there? I said, he's 17 years old. He turned pro when he was 17. I had to take him to South America. You know, I had to take him down to South America. I said, who's that kid right there? And he told me who it was. I said, I ain't seen nobody like you in a long time.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nothing like this.
A lot of people, Stacey, are going to watch this interview later on, and they're going to Google Alex Bray's name, and they're going to see the records of the guys who've been fighting and say, well, he ain't really fought no one. How do you think he could beat a guy like Jaron Ennis or Xander, Zayas or these kind of guys?
Listen, because he ain't fought nobody, doesn't mean that he can't stand up under these guys a year from now. He can't stand up because by that time, you have to understand, he's fighting his first 10 rounds. And he's going boom, boom, boom. Now, what you don't understand is this here. His skill level from where he is right now is way higher than a guy with 10 fights. You got to understand that. I can put him in some of them fights right now, but I'm not going to do it. Why? If he was 25 years old, I would. You want to talk about a baby. His man strength is not there. Wait till his man strength get there, a couple more fights. You'll see something.
Yeah. He's still developing, you're saying, pretty much.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not going to take him knowing that he's young and put him in them hard fights against them grown guys, although he could beat them. But you're going to do that for no baby. You teach him skills. Believe me, when I take this cloak off him, you'll see.
I can't wait. Because
I can't wait.
I've been knowing you for like well over 10 years now, and I've never heard you talk. I've never heard you talk about no fire like this ever.
No, he's different.
Yeah.
He's different. He has good promotional, he has good management, he's got good training, he got everything. Everything is in his willpower. And I asked him one day, I said, let me ask you a question. I say, what kind of car you gonna want? What kind of car are you gonna want? You know what he said? He's quiet too. I want all of them. I said, you want all these? I want all of them. I said, you better go to work then. You keep working. But he's real quiet. He doesn't talk.
Nah, no. Except the one time when I interviewed him, then he was talkative.
Yeah, he don't talk. He don't brag. He listens. He just does his thing. And he's creative. And the more you teach him, the more he want to learn. And his punching power, now he's getting older, his punching power, I can tell it, his punching power is coming up. He already knocking jokers out now. You already doing that. You're turning them over now. So his punching power is coming up. And I said, okay, when you get 20 years old, your power they're gonna be hard for them. And that boy's tall and he know how to fight with his range. I said, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard for him to take. They ain't be able to take them shots. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
And that jab you got, I said, they can't. First of all, your jab knock a joker out. So you know, we working with him, and that other kid, Gianni, the kid from Connecticut.
Yeah, Italian.
Oh man, he's doing good too. He's drawing big crowds over there at Mohegan Sun and places like that. He only had 5 fights.
That part of America needs someone that could, sell some tickets because right now it's thin. It's good.
Listen, you got 5 fights. And you selling 300 and 400 and 500 tickets out of your pockets. That's just out of your pockets. You doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So they want him over there now with the Birchfield is promoter. They got television, they got all different kinds of stuff, and that kid is very, very good looking kid too. In fact, the last fight he knocked the kid out, and it was the commentator was calling what they call him. He looked like Jake LaMotta.
Really?
I said, hey, and the fans love it. The kid can fight, man. He can fight. He trained every day, and he's gonna be fighting next month too. So all of them going. All my guys getting ready to fight.
Yeah, no, I know you're really excited. You seem like younger because of the younger stable now. Like they giving you some added life.
Yeah. Look, man, most of the guys I know, I went to high school with, they walk around like they're 95 years old, man. But these fighters keep you young. That's why a lot of trainers live a long time. Because the fighters keep you young. The music keep you young, and they keep your mind. The old thing is, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
I use it every day. Every day I'm up. Every day I'm doing something. Every day I'm motivated. Every day I'm thinking ahead. And especially now that I got with Teofimo, what Teofimo has done, and I told him, I said, let me tell you what you done for me. This is what you done for me. He said, well, what have I done? I said, you took my mind back to a place it hasn't been in a long time. I say, and that's a good thing, because now I can go back and dig up all the knowledge that I know, because you're the type of fighter that I can put it into. And it makes me happy to be able to do that. The last fighter that I was able to do that with, it's crazy, was Mike Tyson.
Okay.
He was the last fighter that took my mind way back into the Detroit stage, the old trainers and all the quotes and stuff coming from the old trainers and the fights that I watched and especially I can hear Luther Burgess in this ear. I can hear Emmanuel Stewart sometime in this ear. I can hear all of them in this ear. I can hear Bill Miller over here. I call Tommy Hearns. I do this. I talk to myself. I listen to my music. I shadow box. I do all of this stuff. I did all this stuff with Mike. But I hadn't been able to do that with anybody else because I haven't got to that stage yet. So it keeps me turning like that. It keeps me turning, give me so much energy. I got so much energy, it just turns, keep me young. But it's been a long time since I've done that, because like I told you, is Teofimo has room for growth. He has room. And the things I've just mentioned is what I'm going to take and fulfill that void with. I fulfill that void with the things I just said. The things that Luther, I hear them voices. It's be coming to me. Boom, 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 boom. So it's been a long time. I said that with Mike. When I first got with Mike, it's the same thing. Okay, I knew that, okay, this is what I got to do. Boom, boom, boom. I got to fill these boards out. I got to change this. I got to do this. Mike Tyson's not the same fight. Mike Tyson can't come out there rumbling and throwing a whole lot of punches. He got to be more methodical. He got to do this. You have to think about all of that stuff. So this kid here is bringing all that back. Now, my other kids, they ain't got to that level yet. But this kid is bringing all that back because I see room for growth.
Yeah.
And I want to feel it. I want to feel that void right there. And he's still young. So it's good for me.
Yeah, no.
I'm eating good. I'm just, everything is just good. You know what I mean? I quit drinking. I used to drink on weekends, a little beer, a little wine, and give me a little shot of tequila here and there. I don't even do that no more. Stop.
When did you quit?
December 23rd, 2021.
Oh, wow.
2021.
So 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 5 years ago.
I ain't had a drink. I ain't had a beer. I ain't had nothing. Don't want one. Because you got to keep your body. You got to make these changes. To keep your mind and keep your mindset and your body right. Because your mind is gone and your body is tired. What shit you gonna do?
Yeah.
Sit over on the bench and look. That's all you can do. I can still run. I do my pad. Still do your pad work. You do all this stuff. So my diet is great. It's getting better and better. And people calling me now, man, why don't you just hook me up with this? I'm gonna start charging y'all for all this information.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, life is beautiful.
But Stacey,
I'm in the stage right now. Huh?
One last question though, before I wrap the interview up. One last question. But you've been on the heavyweights for a long time, and you mentioned that kid from the UK, Moses Itauma. A lot of the people in the fight game are crowning him as like the next heavyweight, next big thing. Well, what do you think about him? I never really heard your thoughts on him.
Yeah, I think if they keep grooming it and grooming him right, I think he end up being the next great heavyweight. You look at his age and everything, and his punching ability, and the way that he's dominating. I think that he can. If they don't take him too fast, I think he'd be the next great heavyweight. Right now, we don't have anybody that I could say that can step in there and be the next great heavyweight. I mean, Tyson Fury was the last great heavyweight. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, our heavyweight champion right now ain't no slouch.
Usyk
ain't nothing to play with. Usyk, I tell you, Usyk could have been heavyweight champion along with Holyfield and all them boys. Yeah, he ain't nothing to play with. And one of the things is because his skill set is good, but his mind is so strong, man. His mind is strong. He's a fighter. He's a real fighter. He looked like a fighter. He's a real Kazakh fighter. He's a Kazakh fighter. He's a real fighter. And you look at him, and when the war started in Ukraine, he was getting ready for a fight. He said, I'm going to have to cancel my fight. I got to go home because I'm going to have to go to the war. I'm going to have to go fight. You heavyweight champion of the world, you say, hey, forget this fight. I'm got to go fight. I got to get out there in the infantry and get me a rifle and go shoot what's going on.
Yeah.
That's a fighter. That's a real fighter right there. He's a real fighter. Don't let nobody fool you. He's real. I love him. I like
I know you class Vitaly Klitschko very highly. What do you think about like Usyk against a guy like Klitschko or either Klitschko or the guys like Joe Louis or Holyfield or Larry Holmes, them kind of guys?
Well, Larry Holmes probably would have beat him because Larry Holmes can move good. And Larry Holmes, he had that jab to keep him at bay. He probably could beat him from that standpoint. Yeah, I would say. And Larry Holmes, even though he got a lot of heart. Larry Holmes like that too. He was a fighter. And he trained real hard. He probably would beat him because of the style. He and Holyfield would match up even. That would be one hell of a bloody ass war right there. That would be a bloodbath. That would be because both of them is mentally strong.
It'd be a lot of punches.
Both of them stand there and fight. So that would have been a hell of a fight to see. But he could have been there. He could have been there with those guys. That's why he dominates now. And Tyson Fury wasn't no slouch. Tyson Fury could box. Yeah. He was big, but one time I had him at the best, which he was. But now Klitschko, he probably would have whooped Vladimir, but he'd have had problem with Vitaly. Vitaly was a hell of a fighter. Vitaly probably would have maybe beat him. He could have gone either way, man. He could have gone either way. Vitaly was a hell of a fighter, and his mind was mentally strong too.
I remember years ago when we did our interview about all the heavyweights. You were talking about how Vitaly had like 3 or 5 different jabs. That's what made him so special. The variation of his jabs.
Yeah, he had all the different jabs, and he had 2 or 3 different right hands. He had 2 or 3 different types of right hands. Also, see, a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something else. Not to get away from what you're saying. Not totally away. Teofimo has at least 4 or 5 different types of jabs. He has 4 or 5 different types of jabs. He has 3 jabs. He had 3 jabs that he could change the speed on. He could change the speed into power. I watched him close. I said, damn. He has about four or five, maybe 6 different jabs. When most fighters got one, and you might teach him one more. But that boy got about 6 different jabs. I'm telling you, he has a lot of void to fill. The kid is super talented. But Klitschko had, Vitaly had 2 or 3 different types of right hand. He had 2 or 3 different. Teofimo got 3 different right hands. I'm telling you now, he delivered 3 different ways. Boy, the boy is super talented. So these are things I look at. Yeah, but Vitaly had 3 different jabs. My kid Bray, Alex Bray, I'm teaching him 3 different jabs. I'm teaching him how to change up on the jab, to change the speed on the jab, from less power to power, then to power, then to speed. I'm teaching him all that. I'm teaching him all that stuff right now. So today's fighters, they ain't got but one kind of jab. I watch all of that. They don't got but one kind of jab. I can kill that jab. The jab they got, we can kill them. It's like I teach you how to jab, I can teach you how to defend yourself against the jab. The guy's got one jab, we can kill him. Now Shakur got a couple of different jabs. We can kill those though. We can kill them jabs. See, once he think he got this boy, got Teofimo jab figured out, okay, you got that one figured out, and what you gonna do about these other 3?
Well, apparently it's like 5. You said Tio has like 6 different jabs. I knew there was like 4 or 5 different types of jabs. I didn't know there were 6.
Yeah. So what you gonna do now?
Yeah.
What you gonna do now? You done figured out one. Now what you gonna do with the other ones? You ain't got time to figure out all of them. You don't have time. You're working against the clock. See, all this stuff comes into play. You learning too much too.
A little bit. I spent a lot of time around you, so
yeah, you're learning.
Yeah,
but all this is boxing, and all this is true. It's true facts. It's true facts, and you'll get a chance to see all of this.
I can't wait.
See all of this.
But Stacey, we'll be here for like an hour and 12 minutes. I don't want to hold you up, man. But any final message to the boxing world before we?
What now?
Saying, do you have any final message to the boxing world? Because I'm gonna wrap it up. You gave me a lot today, so
the final word to the boxing world is this: it's going to be a fantastic show on the 31st. It's going to be in the biggest city in the United States. It's going to be a sellout crowd, and we want people to come out and support both of the fighters. And please continue to support boxing and the sanctioning bodies. Thanks God for the sanctioning bodies, and thanks God for this old sport to keep a poor man striving for something. So see you on the 31st.
All right, Stacey, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.